friend, always in the house, Bishop Charles Amke. New Life Anointed Ministry, the daughter set right, the man himself who conquers and speaks for the lives and the people of Kawangware. Bishop,
yes,
karibu sana.
Thank you, the man, the host, together with my learned friends. You are most welcome to the house, and I know today is going to be hot. In the name of Jesus.
Yes.
Amen.
Now with Rebecca together with us, and we are juggling around this question: are men really taking a risk? And of course, I'm a bit happy because Rebecca is surrounded by two men in the house, because we don't want to call them boys. They are men. And in any case, you go home and they are like, Mom, you called us boys on a national TV. But again, are men taking enough risk?
Well, first I need to make a clarity that I'm not a man.
Exactly. From your side, from your view, from your thinking,
Man, but,
from what you have seen.
being a psychologist, I want to say there is a shift change. The men who used to take risks, the men who used to read are vanishing day by day. So I don't know what is happening, but the risk takers, men, maybe by the next 5 years, there will be no man taking any risk.
Oh my.
Viewers, you are listening to what Rebecca is telling us. You can join us in the conversation. The number is 0728 316 317. You can join us live on Facebook, Ctn, and you'll find us there. Rebecca is saying that we'll have no generation of men taking risk. I agree with her.
Well, I would say to some extent, because we need to be very honest. Because if we are not honest with the man today, we will not be giving him a solution. But I think we are rearing a kind of a generation that we're not training them to be go-getters. I was talking to some lawyer last night, and I was telling them, you know what? We're bringing up a very weak generation. And if we don't teach this man that he should be strong, he should think, then I'm afraid that what Rebecca is saying could be true.
Yeah.
So something needs to be done, and we have a big responsibility to be able to push the boy child, the man, into some place where we help his head to wake up.
Yeah. Bishop Rebecca is saying that there were men who are risk takers, and she's looking at the picture today, and she can't find. Okay, she can find some, but her fear is in the near future there will be none taking risk. Agreeing with her?
Vanishing.
Let me be.
And actually saying that they're vanishing.
That means they are there.
Yeah.
You know, when we just try to dismiss everybody simply because of one or two failures, then we will be doing a wrong. But if we actually look on the people that are there and they are risk takers and they are still available during this very particular time, why don't we recognize them and use the same energy they use to pump into those that are vanishing? Not everybody is vanishing.
Yeah.
There are few boys in men, and there are few young toddlers in suits, you know. So if we can really capitalize on those that are there, because we are there, Bishop, you are a risk taker.
It's true.
You are a risk
and I agree that.
Yes.
But my question is, are the risk takers training or mentoring others to be the same?
So which one do we encourage? Do we encourage the risk takers, or do we start now dwelling on those that are not taking risks?
I want us to encourage the risk takers to mentor.
Then let's recognize them.
I'm going to give you a very tough example.
All that right there. The show has taken off. You can join us 0728 We are taking a short break. We will be right back. Don't change that channel, because Bishop and a doctor in waiting, they are already in the house and they are burning to answer your questions.
Amen.
Don't worry.
agenda concerning your life is to give you a better life. The answer of your problem lies squarely inside of you. This morning, as you wake up from your bed, say to yourself, preach to yourself, pack yourself again with hope, with life. Your failure is because you decided to fail. There is a future over your life, over your life.
You can impact your life and change others' lives.
The answer of the tongue is from the Lord. Tell us how divine encounter is empowering your life.
Don't know how, but it is.
Watch Divine Encounter every Friday at 8 p.m. with Reverend Ruth Wamoyo. Watch the repeat of Divine Encounter every Sunday at 6 p.m.
Thank you so much for keeping it Ctn and keeping us company. We always enjoy your company and also your feedback. So we know when you are watching, when you do a text or a comment or maybe a rebuke, we are ready for anything. We got enough strength to handle everything. And before we went for a break, Bishop Charles was saying that we concentrate with those few men, while Rebecca is saying we may not have any men in the near future. And again on the break she said the near future could be tomorrow. And Bishop is saying let us concentrate with those two who are remaining. And then the doctor on my right is asking, who are those who are remaining? Bishop, what are you saying?
You know, there are people who are risk takers. And if I can get one example, my good friend Dr. Washira William is a good risk taker, you know, and I really want to appreciate what he's doing. But if we don't recognize the risks he has taken, that means we are saying whatever effort you have put towards the risking, it's not recognized. That means we are demoralizing the efforts that he's using towards encouraging even those that are looking up to him. And that's what I was trying to say, you know.
And Rebecca is looking you with some eyes, suggesting.
Yes.
Now, you're looking at Dr.
Yes.
William.
Perfect example.
Is a perfect example.
Yes, yes.
Because he is in church.
Yes.
We are looking at everyone.
Okay.
Those who are in church, those who are out of church.
Yes.
Because they are our children.
Yes.
By the way, the generation we are talking about might look at Dr. William and think that is not the person I want. Okay? We don't want Bishop William. What we are looking for are these boys that we want to mentor and become risk takers. Otherwise, we, like I had said earlier, we may not have any generation of a male risk taker. And that's why you're seeing the women are taking the mantle.
I knew you'd come there.
Okay.
The women are taking the mantle, and now what is happening, even those that you are saying now are the risk takers like Dr. William are now feeling threatened, and they are withdrawing, even those that were the risk takers. And if we can go to Dr. William's church, you might realize even the assistant pastor is not a woman, because probably Dr. William is threatened by the spirit.
No. Let me correct that.
They're pricing.
No. I need to interject on that. Well, my assistant pastor, I have two assistant pastors. One of them is a lady, and the other one is a gentleman.
Who could
And
be a Sunday school teacher?
no. She is actually one of the main leaders in the church. So
Tell us the progress of her department.
No.
Wonderful.
She is doing good. I don't have a problem about that. My only problem, and I really wanted to say what Bishop Amke is saying, and I appreciate, my brother, that you compliment what I've done, and I give God every praise. My only issue is, as we talk about the risk takers, one of the things that I really would want the risk takers to do, all of us included, can we mentor others? Because we must be able to pass the baton. Because if we don't, would you imagine Eva, who's involved? Runs. It's a relay race. He runs, but he has no one to hand over the baton to. Then that makes the relay race a big fail. So my thing and my issue is the risk takers that we have. We have others, like I mentioned, in our place, in Karatina. I'll give you a story that is funny. You see these jacks that lift the vehicle. We had one old man, and this is the only guy who knew how to fix those jacks. But because he was so afraid that someone else will learn the skill, so he would put the jack in a gunia, fix it, so nobody ever knew what he used to do. The gentleman died a few...
And you're very sure not sorcery?
So the gentleman died a few years ago. Nobody ever knew how he used to fix those jacks.
I also don't trust him.
Let me ask Dr. William.
Yes.
My learned Dr. Now, before we mentor this, the upcoming generation to be the risk takers, like you're saying, I think we need to know what is the problem. I think that's what is causing this man to be overtaken, not to take risk. I'll give you an example of where my village in Kiambu. There's this very beautiful program started by the governor. It's called Kasoba. It's on
Kasoba,
Now, if you look at the statistics, who are the majority? I'll tell you for free. The male. Right? Where are the women? You go to, especially my village, Nyadona, where I come from, they are very busy women taking risk, going to those small women meeting and getting those merry-go-round money and doing wonderful. That's 20 bob.
Are they the ones cooking the brew?
See now what they are doing. They are taking risk. Even if they are cooking the brew, they are taking the risk to cook that brew because all of you who are roast will come in and they are making money.
Well, I will. But
let me ask you this question, because it's like we have so many men that we see around doing a lot of things, or maybe moving up and about. And the question that comes in, are they risk takers or they're just showing off?
Okay, let me begin. When you pour water in a glass and it's half, there's somebody, it depends with your perspective. There's somebody who will see half water in the glass, and there's somebody who will see half empty glass, because from wherever you're watching it from. Now, you're asking if men are taking risks,
they are showing off.
They are showing off. To me, I want to come back into the place whereby we really need to concentrate on the first risk takers before coming to those that are not risk takers, because you cannot give out what you don't have. You only give out what you have. In one of the shows I said here before, and I say in every boy there is a king, and some fathers have not been fathered before. So you cannot be a perfect father if you are not fathered. That means we really need to come and see the few guys that are so good and they are risk takers who can become an alternative to the problem that is in the society. So if we can rush to institutions, for example, religious institutions, counseling places, people that really have a solution to the society, then we will be looking on a problem, on a solution to the problem that is. But if we just rush to this problem that is, we may not find a solution.
I have a problem with that.
Yes.
I have a real problem with that.
Yes.
Because how many do we have? Like I said, we do not have. For me, I am thinking, it's very hard to correct these three where it's very overgrown. I am still thinking we need to go back to where we roast the man.
I think, let me tell you where we lost it, and I think what you had said earlier about your village where and I had 5,000 that are being in the Kasoba. But when we started empowering the girl child at the expense of the boy child, that's where we started missing it. Where we only now, I think we were supposed to have, even if we were empowering the girl child, we needed to bring them up together. So we now empowered the girl child at the expense of the boy child, and the boy child felt like left out. And that's the same problem we're having in Nyeri. I'm coming from a place where we are told we are beaten. By the way, I've married. I come from Nyeri. I've married a Nyeri woman. I know you are, and I am fine.
Know you are home.
So I hear that you're beaten on Fridays.
No. But I will tell you I will tell you this, and this is something that we really need to address. And I was in a meeting the other day, and when I said I'm from Nyeri, they started looking at me with those ones of we need to check if you're fine. I said the problem is, and they have really hit on the Nyeri woman. They're saying the Nyeri woman is bad and all this. And I would like to say, it's not that the Nyeri woman is bad. What I would like to say is this, and I think that's the point she's bringing, which is very, very, and I think that's what we're handling about. Are they risk takers? This is a problem. This man will come, and this Nyeri woman or the woman is empowered. So she's doing what is supposed to be done. The only thing this man does is drink. And so you come in the house, and now we have made the woman be a and they're good at that, multitasking. So, and I always say, when a man behaves like a boy, then the wife automatically has to switch roles and be the mother.
Correct.
A mother usually in our setup will beat the child. So this wife you think is beating the man or the husband is not beating the husband, he's beating a child. He's beating a child.
So what we are saying basically is that these men we are seeing in suits and silencing every man on the streets, they are not taking risks that can help. They are only showing off.
Let me tell you, I think the problem is this. Years ago, the man's role was very very, very defined. We knew that the man is the one that is supposed to put food on the table.
Exactly.
We are in a totally different generation where even the woman is empowered. So now, until the man understands what is this that I'm supposed to do, because if you talk about bringing food on the table, mama is bringing food on the table, I'm bringing food on the table. So the problem is this. Man now thinks, and that's why there are a lot of fights, and because she's in the gender violence, I think there is a lot of that. Because the only thing that is now different for a man is that he has more muscles than the woman. So and I think this is now where we need to help the man to understand the role of a man. That the role of a man is not just that, bringing food on the table, because mama will still bring it. Understanding what is it being a man. What is it that you need now to begin to show as guidance as a man? Because if you don't do that, the only thing is that you'll be left with the muscles to hit this woman.
Why are men not taking risk? What is contributing to that?
Why they are not taking risk is because I know there are men who take risk. It's not 100%. Yes, because we are men.
No,
we are men and we are risk takers.
Yeah,
and we have seen our
let me ask the question. Why are majority of men,
not majority,
some.
Okay, please, why are some?
Why are 90%?
No, that percentage.
That percentage, you really have
That percentage is hate speech.
Okay. Why are some men not taking risk?
Yes. Why are some men not taking risk? Because one, I've told you, Either they have not been mentored or they have not been fathered. I have no problem with the single parents. You know, there are children who have grown with single mothers, and there are parents who have grown with single fathers. And it does not matter. It does not matter how they have grown. What matters is what they have learned in the process of growing. There are mothers who have really fitted well as a role of a father and a mother. You know, not really coming as a husband, but they have really stood in their houses as husbands, as fathers to the children, and as mothers to the children. They have given a good example, and they have maybe referred to people who can impart them with knowledge and understanding. You know, they have grown up with a bit of risk taking, but there are some people who have grown up, their fathers have never been fathered, so the fathers cannot give what they were not given. And there are people who are just somebody one day in this show called them Samusa boys. It's like you want to fix. They are popcorns. You know, today they are in kindergarten, tomorrow they are in everywhere, and they want to become fathers while they don't have nothing inside of their lives. So they cannot give. So there are people who have not learned, so they cannot give what they have not learned. They are not risk takers, and they have just been fed. Some have been fed by their grandmother, and they have been fed by their mother, and they have found another mother who has become their girlfriend at the age of 45, and he is 19. So how can he?
Rebecca, from what he's trying to tell us,
Yes.
is it because there is nothing to take risk for?
No, there's a lot.
According to them?
No, there's a lot to take risk. And I will start where Bishop left, because I'm still have issues with those risk takers.
Yes.
But the good thing, we are here to see what can we do. I guess that
exactly. Yes.
an upcoming generation, because I don't want to go that direction of girls now are empowered more than boys, because we have gone back to lift all of them so that we can be at par. But there is the conditioning of a man. Remember, as we grew up, or even our fathers as they grew up, the role of a man was to be the head, always to be the head in everything. And that's why you realized everything was about man. Whether you go for the chairman of a funeral back in the village, it was to be a man. But unfortunately, when women started coming up, I think the man felt threatened. That's why now, as they take risk, they take risk of showing off, I am still here, I am still existing. You guys, are you saying that you women are there? So it's more of a competition. It's more of a show up, because they are fighting back.
It's not competition.
No,
it's just a God-given position. We are coming back to it, so it's not competition.
Bishop and I'm seated in the middle of Bishop. I am the only one who is not a pastor and a bishop. But I really respect what the one of God says. And you know my background. I really respect. And I know the man should be the head. But that does not mean that we need to leave the woman. So we need to bring everyone and make the man understand that as we empower the woman, we are not letting the woman to be the head. We are only saying that the woman knows her place in kitchen, but can also do some other things that are better. And that's why you are asking, is it competition? No, it's competition. Is it showing off? Yes, it's showing off because I want to fight back and say, look here, I'm still here with 2 Mercedes Benz. I'm taking a road.
We'll be right back after this break, and Rebecca is going to tell us, are these men who are buying toys, which are cars, showing off, or they are taking risks? Don't go away, we'll be right back.
How complicated is it to be a woman?
We have the smile, but sometimes it's through tears.
I look more beautiful when I'm pregnant.
Yes.
So I think I'll be pregnant for many more years.
If a man takes you out on the first date, he should pay. Me, I have no problem. After all, I love you.
And there are signs that are telling them this is not going to work.
Don't start messing up out there.
Like, you're not an item to just be found and picked.
I went on shouting, Jesus, Jesus.
He saved me from where I was until to come and testify where we are today.
People could see bullets passing over my head.
mud over my feet. God is a God of second chances, and the call came before the fall.
How do I remain gorgeous and relevant?
With God, she at whatever age remains gorgeous.
Is it doable? Can we be that woman? The Bible talks about the Proverbs 31 woman. She's a woman who fears the Lord.
Gorgeous every Sunday at 5 p.m. Watch the repeat of Gorgeous every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Hustling kidogo kidogo ndio nikakam to a conclusion I can follow my passion now. As a designer unaweza lala unaota na nguo, so you wake up, you draw about that dress, and then unakuja mnashona and it will hit the market. Nilikuwa napenda sana kuvaa and ninapenda sana watu wakikaa vizuri, so the way you dress will make people want to know hii nguo ulitoa wapi. Saa zingine utainvitiwa mahali harusi, and the way you will go dressing, people want to know hii nguo ulitoa wapi.
Thank you and welcome back, and please keep your conversations coming. 0728316317. Tell us, what is your take? Is your man taking enough risk? And if he is taking enough risk, you can also send a congratulatory message to us. We read it on air for him to know that you respect what he is doing. I'm still having a problem because I'm asking whether the men we are seeing on the streets, well dressed, whether they are risk takers or they dressed in the morning to go and show off to other people that they still exist. That is the question we're asking today. Are men taking enough risk? And according to the words of Rebecca, why is this huge competition? It is because people would always want to partner with people who are doing something. And I think that is why every organization in the world is running to women, simply because they are doing something. But before we come to the end of this program, we'll have known how to take risk as men. And Maina from Waithaka, you are saying, what a show. Thank you for guiding us, young men. Unless we are guided, we shall perish. And you're asking me, can you please repeat the difference between a man and a male? Maina? Next time. Esther, you are saying, I learned something new from your show all the time. And I hope that even today, you're learning something new. And I want to get to this one now and ask, no, I still need to get, why are men not taking risk, Bishop? Why are they not taking risk?
I think
why are we seeing women on the front line? Why are men not taking risk?
Yeah, I think for one, like I said, is that mentorship. And we have to be willing to hold their hand. We were mentored. That's why we are able to take risks.
That's true.
So if we don't mentor, I think what is happening, and I was discussing this with a certain forum, I was saying we are trying to help the upcoming generation in everything. We're not telling them, when we see them struggle a bit, no, you want to help. You want to help.
Right.
And so we are causing their heads not to think. And if one cannot think at that tender age, even when he's faced by any place that he needs to take any risk, he'll be there seated. And we're going to have a problem like the man who sat down 38 years looking for a man to push him. A season comes,
yes, Bishop.
the water is stirred, he's supposed to jump. Because I say, the man in John 5, even if he had dragged himself and waited for the water to be stirred, he would have pushed himself. But because he was not taught how to really pull himself up, he's been waiting for somebody. So I think the biggest problem that is affecting the man, and it's gonna affect the generation to come, if we don't do anything, we are too easy on them.
Does it take statistics to buy a car, to buy a house, or to risk?
It takes a risk. It really takes a risk, because I've seen people who have by determination they have taken a step and they have risked and they have bought a car. You know, it is not chance or luck. It is just determination by putting first step. I've seen people who have gone for loans and by chances they have cleared their loans. It's a risk. Everything is a risk. And one of these wonderful sayings, the higher the risk, the greater the outcome. So if we don't risk, we are not really partakers of what we want to become. Most of us have not risked, and I agree, some men, which that statement must be very clear, not all men, some men have not risked and they are not risk takers. But we also need to change that narrative, because when I look at the society today, even the government does not energize those people who are risk takers. They are demoralizing even those people who are trying to grow up and become risk takers. As the way Bishop has said, Dr. Wachira, even government, Becky is not agreeing with that, but even government has really leaned towards encouraging the girl child by totally neglecting, and I'm very clear, totally neglecting. See the way they are coming back. They are coming back with 300 shillings to remove men from drunkenness. That is not a solution. The approach is even very wrong. The governor, I thank God for the governor, and I really don't assume that the job description of governor is to bring back men who are rotten in society. They are bodies. They are people who are really gifted and packed with knowledge and understanding. Becky is a professional counselor. Dr. Wachira here is gone to books to understand how to bring these men back. So if we don't look at the problem that is there, even the approach will not be very accurate. And that is my comment.
Becky, because I want to get to this very clearly. Why the government and any other organization would want to help women, especially the girl child. Not because the girl child has been sidelined, but I think because women rose up with chamas, they have grown with groups back merry-go-round, and I think it's a risk for us to gang together, put money on the table, and say, today we are going to loan Daktari. It's a risk, because we are not very sure whether he's going to pay. Men, they don't do that. Now, I'm trying to get it that risk takers, or risk it by itself, will attract and influence. Is it very true?
Very.
Especially on the side of women, I hear that they will always go to a man who is a risk taker. Is the narrative true?
Of course, you want a man.
And you are smiling on that.
Yes. As a woman, I would always go for a man who can take me from point A to point B. Okay?
Who can risk for you.
Yes, and you know that is risky. Even taking me is a risk. Even coming home and telling my parents that I want this girl is a risk. That's the kind of a man that I want. But beside that, I like the way you're saying that risk attracts even those positions. Because there is no way we can sit here and contribute money. Then Pastor Mungai, you take that money and you go drinking. The chama will not go anywhere. But when we come together as women and we bring that money, when I'm loaned that 1,000 and I take my bogas, it can.
By the way, I understand that you get even a caloon of 500 shillings.
Oh, yes.
And you go smiling home.
It's a lot of money because one, I have planned for that. But what you had said earlier, when I have that as a man, what we've seen, if I give that man that 500, we'll start calling Pastor Amke. Now I have money. We can even meet for coffee.
Yeah, and Bishop,
I'll say, you know, I have money.
Pastor, I want to add on what she said. You know? The other day I said in this show, and Bishop William Wachira, Daktari, you can agree with me, most of the time when a man has money, it is our money.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when a woman has money, it is never our money. It's my money. So, as much as Becky is saying that the Chamas is doing very well, that is their money. But when a man holds money, it is our money. Why don't we now convert, as women are now more risk takers? Why don't you start pulling in your husbands and pulling in other men to take risks as the way you're taking risks?
Because I know you have got something to say, but I want us to unearth the problem. Why the government would not rush, or maybe any other organization that come in to help, would not rush to help men. It is because they have realized there is no much risk that men would want to take. They would want to take, as she is actually accusing us when we are seated here, but I know you are going to fight back, that if she gives me 500, I'm going to call you for coffee.
Yeah.
Is it very true?
No, well, it's very true that even the government, if you look, we have women fight, we have the youth fight. You've never heard about men fight, right? So, and that is one of the problems that we are bringing in the society. If you go to the Western nations, if there is an accident and you call the 911, the first thing they will ask, is there a child? Is there a woman? Is there a pet?
Or men have been neglected.
And then the man will come way forth. And that's going to determine
the response.
The response. It's a very dangerous thing. So, but there's this one problem that we really have to really begin to bring back a man in his position. One woman asked me a tough question, and I was preaching in a wedding, and then after the wedding, this woman comes and asks me, you said that men are supposed to be the head. And so she asked me a tough question. She says, what if you have a head that doesn't think?
That's why there's partnership. The woman is brought to help.
And I say,
so she's a helper.
Yes. Thank you. The woman is
a helper.
Not the head.
So I contribute. It's true, this woman is supposed to come and compliment. But I think we must begin to tell the man, because I believe that's why we're in this show.
Yes.
We must begin to bring back the man in his place. And we need to tell this man, you know what? Wake up. It's okay, your wife or the woman in your life could be more empowered, but can you wake up and do something?
At least take a risk over something.
Take a risk. You cannot sleep the whole day. Wake up, go out there and bring the 100 shillings and tell mama, I brought a quarter of meat today. Cook that. At least be seen to be doing something. You cannot say there's no work. You cannot say, I mean, and you're not doing anything. You're not helping. And I think that is what we're talking about, mentorship. Let those risk takers, let that man that is empowered, let that man just wake up and do something. Because if we don't do that, then we will fail this generation, we will fail the world.
That's true.
Very important for every man who is watching us to know that if you as a father, you are not a risk taker, you're also teaching your children to be as lazy, actually more lazy than you are. And our prayer is that men who are watching us today, they'll rise up tomorrow in the morning and go and take risk over something. Just go and risk over something. There is a whole lot of things for you to risk for, because this world is waiting for a solution, not from a woman, but from a man who is watching us. We'll be right back after this break. Please join us, 0728316317. Let us know what your take on this show. We'll be right back.
A wise man once said, a party without a cake is just a meeting. That is why Valentine Cake House is committed in delivering uniquely crafted cakes for celebrations and everyday life. Be it a wedding, birthday, or that corporate event, Valentine Cake House has you covered. We also have a dream of passing our skills to everyone through our baking school. Valentine School of Cake equips our students with unmatched baking skills at an affordable fee. You can find us in our various branches in Nairobi, Rongai, Langata, Kitengela, Tasia, Fedha, Buruburu, Thika, Meru, Mombasa, Naivasha, and Nakuru. Or you can also visit our website at www.valentinecakehouse.co.ke for more details. Get that affordable and mouth-watering cake at Valentine Cake House, the leading cake house in Kenya.
Do you want your song to be turned into one of the greatest hits? Welcome to Zero to Hero Studios. Competitive prices for music and video production. We also offer fair prices for jingles, voiceovers, documentaries, and events. Our studios are located in Nairobi, CBD.
For more information, call us on 0752 386 798 or 0723 607 653.
Zero to Hero Studios, experts in audio and video production.
Thank you so much for keeping us company and welcome back. We are still discussing about whether men are taking enough risk, and we are realizing that the competition between men and women, it is rising because women are risk takers and they are going far beyond to do crazy things, and that is why the government, the organization can trust them with their funds, and that is even banks would actually loan women more than men, because with the men you will struggle to pay, but women, they pay very quickly in order to develop themselves. And the question is, are men taking enough risk? And could be we are talking to a man or maybe addressing a man who is in this level, but we want you to know, please be a risk taker and develop yourself. Risk takers always attract and influence, and they get to the world of affluence because they are risk takers. And Veronica, you are saying that I love the show. I am getting wiser when I watch all the time. Keep it up, Veronica. We'll make you better as you keep on watching. Hope that you have a man that you can talk to and tell him to be a risk taker. Anthony, in 3 words, this is beautiful. I like it too. Thank you so much, Anthony. And we want to ask, what are the benefits? What are the benefits? Anybody can pick it from anywhere. What are the benefits of risk taking?
Yeah, let me start because I don't want to go to couples meeting because that's what I do, and then their husband starts beating me. I agree with you as we finish.
Thank you.
Men. Because I have a brother who is even a politician, a known politician. So that's a risk taker.
Yeah.
We are saying we have very few men, and we have men who are taking risk because we also have our parents and our dads. So my dad there would ask me, that's how I brought you up. I do not want. We have men who are taking risk.
Yeah.
And we have pastors like the way we are seated with, who have big congregations that are following you, including my own pastor. And that's why I follow him.
Yeah.
Because there's something he has taken that risk to become that pastor and carry the mantle of all those church. But let me tell you, the benefit of taking the risk as a man, because like we have said, from the word go, the man should always be the head.
Yeah.
And you see, once you become the head, for example, the organization I work for for the Gender Violence Recovery Center, and everyone know what we do at Nairobi Women. We receive cases of gender and violence. In most cases, like in a year we do 4,000. You can imagine 90% who reports are women.
Yeah.
That means who are the perpetrators? are the men. And that's why I like making it clear, not that the government is investing on women because they want to sideline man, because they have realized women are very vulnerable. And that's why for a woman to stop being vulnerable, for our daughters, those who have daughters, to get men to marry them, we need to invest on this man.
All right.
That's true.
We need to empower this man also. We also need to be the role models. Unfortunately, we have very few, but we have majority of the men we have are not the role models. And I like the way Bishop said they were mentors. In other words, he was saying they were role model they were looking unto. Pastor Amke, I'm sure there are men you looked unto as you are growing, including us as we were growing. Where we are asking, where are those role models? Can you imagine now the role models are women?
And do you fear for your 2 boys?
I fear for my 2 boys. And what I tell, especially those moms who are doing a parenting by themselves, either by choice or not by choice. Okay, I don't know what by choice means, but let's say something just happened and you are parenting by yourself. You see, you become the role model, and you'll find that boy is exactly copying what you're doing, including being in the mirror for the next 30 minutes, investing in the mirror, investing in beauty. I don't think that's what we want. And no, this is what we encourage even moms who are bringing up the kids by themselves. Expose them to your brothers, expose them to your uncles, to your pastors. Look for male mentors, because that saying that says that we can do what women can do better than men. There's nothing. We are not in a competition.
And it's even incorrect.
Yes. You know, I visited our Nairobi animal orphanage, I think last year. I learned something that I would like to say to all the men. So this young man who was taking me around to see the animals, he took me to where the lions are. And then he said something, he didn't know what he said to me, but it blew my mind. Because he said, you know what, Bishop? You see, all the animals that are in this orphanage, at some point, we can release them back to the jungle. But we said, but for the lions, we can never release them back to the jungle. And I asked him why. He said one thing that, man, it blew me up. He said, anytime you cage a lion, it loses the instincts for hunting. And so, if you take it back to the jungle, it dies because it can't hunt. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, this is then the problem with our men. When we caged our boys, we never taught them you can do it. We never encouraged them that you step out. So what did we do? We caged them. And when we caged them, they lost the instinct to hunt, the instinct for risk.
That is why they are not even marrying.
That's why they can't marry.
We are not talking about Ranga.
They have to look.
They cannot out of their mother's house.
Yes,
they are not looking at you, but you're talking about.
They lost the instinct to hunt, and so they now have to look for a lady who is empowered to. Who is marrying them? It's a big problem.
Is it why we are having now young men moving to ladies' houses and staying there?
It's comfortable. They're looking for their mother.
They can't hunt.
Just move to another cage.
And so that's the problem. And so while we are talking about, there's going to be a benefit when we begin to mentor them. We will begin to bring them back to hunt.
And she said something, releasing them to the uncles.
That's exactly what.
Them to the
let's not cage them.
Let me borrow an example. Actually, we are transiting from cultural to religion, you know. But when you look back into our culture, some of our elderly people realize that their grandfathers will always pick a boy when he's still young and remove them from the cage and take them to become sensitive.
Exactly.
So men would need to start teaching them in their earlier stages.
That is it. That is it.
Remove them from the cages, take them out, and to me, I also want to some extent blame the government because they have funds that can really encourage this kind of
Just
system.
a minute before we blame the government.
I was going to say that.
Please, before we blame the government, can we blame that man that is in that house?
Yeah.
Because before I take my boy Neville to blame the government,
we cannot blame him. We blame the system because he has not grown in that system. I said before, we give what we have. And these people are fathers while they were not fathered. So it is our responsibility now
if we
to partner.
let me say this, my brother. Let me say this, Bishop.
If religious institutions, counseling institutions can partner, because there are people outside here who are suffering. How do we approach them?
I want to pose a question to all of you. I want to pose a question to all of you on behalf of the government.
Yes.
And I want to ask, who is the government?
That's it.
The government is the people in authority who have resources.
Where are they coming in your life?
Let me show you where they're coming in. If they can build national theaters to promote culture, that means they can build centers for counseling and teaching our people. Because there are people who just can never be taught.
No, Bishop, I understand. Let me ask you.
Yes.
Let me ask you. Now, Baba Neville.
Yes.
Where does the government come in to bring up and mentor
Neville?
That is why I'm saying we cannot blame the government.
Before Baba Neville comes, the county government in one of the counties is spending billions.
Actually, you have made me to remember a very hard name.
It's spending billions to rehabilitate people who are over 50 years. Why don't we translate that billions into an institution whereby these people, instead of removing them from drunkenness, have caused them not to go to drunkenness in the early stages. By the time schools are closed, there is an institution that men can go there.
How old is your son? How old is your
My
son?
son is 19 years.
19 years, the firstborn.
Yes.
When he is still at 50, do I expect him to be still in your house?
In my house.
Waiting for the government
to come and rescue.
And I
that
think
is the whole problem we have
with this
our
nation.
children. We are blaming the teachers
I'm
when
here.
they ban school.
I'm here.
We are blaming the teachers when they ban school. Now, Pastor Amke, we are blaming the government.
Then,
and I like the way you are asking, who is the government?
Then,
it has to start.
Why should the government at this time spend millions every day giving somebody 300 shillings who is a wreck, who has taken beer and is a wreck in the society, especially in her village?
I think now
I'm avoiding that you might stand up and the cameras are very short.
Now, this I think is the biggest problem.
Yes.
When we don't take responsibility, we will always point fingers. And that's exactly why God chased Adam out of the garden, because he could not take responsibility. Adam, what's the problem? No, it's the woman you gave me. Woman, what's the problem? It's the serpent. And God was tired of asking this question. So what I'm saying, we must.
Do you know why God never dared to ask that question?
He didn't want the serpent to blame something else.
No, it's not even the serpent. All of them, they could have ganged up against God. They could have blamed God, all of them.
And I have something I wanted to tell Pastor Amke.
In that second.
You see why the government in investing and rehabilitating those 50 years? Because I failed as the parent.
That is it.
I failed.
Good.
Now the government
has to come in
because
and try and do what you didn't do.
You are agreeing with me. There is a gap. There is already a gap. There are some parents who failed, and there are some parents who are growing without any input into their lives. Why don't we create an institution?
Bishop, thank you so
buy
much.
Books. Give books to people.
Thank you so much. We are going to buy books. In 30 seconds, look at that camera and give your final remarks.
Well, what I would like to say is that we still have hope. We're not going to blame anybody. I'm going to encourage every father, every man, every woman, let us mentor both the boys, let's mentor both the girls to secure the generation that is coming.
Rebecca says something.
Like Dr. has said, there is hope. But the hope, it will start with me taking my responsibility from where I am, and my neighbor taking the responsibility before we get to the government. But there is a lot of work to do. to bring up our boys.
Bishop Charles.
I want to say this very clearly. For us to become what we are supposed to become, it is a collective responsibility from the government, religious institutions, parents, and even boy child. It's a collective responsibility. Everybody plays their part for us to become what we are supposed to be. If you're the government, please take up your responsibility. If you're a bishop and a pastor, take up your responsibility.
You should have begun the other way around.
We are coming to the end of this show. And we want to thank you so much. We want to thank you so much for keeping us company. Everybody here feels like continuing talking about it. Thank you so much for keeping us company for the last 1 hour. May the Lord bless you. You've been watching your show, The Man, and this has been your host, the man himself, Peter Munga. You can keep the conversation going. The number on your screen is 0728 316 317. You can continue also writing on our Facebook page, CTN Covenant Television Network. Let us know what is your take on what we are discussing today. And I want to promise you, this one continues even when the cameras are off. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. And the lady in the house, thank you so much for coming. May the Lord bless you. Amen. And until we meet next time, same place on the same day, keep it Ctn TV, and God bless. Thank you.
Looking for an apartment that has amenities beyond compare? Then come home to Ibiza Living Apartments. Gated Ibiza Living Apartments offers modern 2 and 3 bedroom homes which are either furnished or unfurnished, with large and spacious sitting rooms, a pantry, service quarter and a laundry area. Ibiza Living residents can enjoy amenities like swimming pool, tight security with CCTV cameras, backup generator and borehole for electricity and water supply. Ibiza Living Apartments is located in the upmarket of Ngong Road opposite Riara Primary School, and its proximity to malls like The Junction, well-established school, high network of clients and business makes it worth living in. For more information, call us on 0798 664 659 or 0715 777 889.
Your beautifier, my beautifier.